So Quiet Place Day One is the prequel. How did it all begin? We loved The Quiet Place. We loved A Quiet Place Part 2. I think that was the name of it. So basically, it opens with a young woman, Samira, played by Lupita Nyong'o. She goes by Sam. She's living in hospice care. She is dying of cancer. She is in a group therapy session, writing poetry that's profanity laden. She hates life and is giving up. After the session, her nurse, Ruben, played by Alex Wolff, says, hey, let's go see a show in New York. A bunch of us are going in. They take a bus, and it winds up being a puppet show. During that puppet show, Sam walks out. And as she walks out, she sees jets fly by and tanks rolling through. And then all of a sudden, New York City is bombarded by meteors, and aliens are born, and they're eating people. She runs away. She gets knocked out, finds herself in the puppet show theater, and everyone's telling her to be quiet. And the alien. So if you know Quiet Place, you know what's going on. You make a sound, the alien. That's how they attracts the aliens. They kill you. The government is trying to get everyone evacuated off of New York. They've destroyed all the bridges since the aliens can't swim. They said, hey, go to the boats, go to the water, go to the boats. We'll get you off. But Sam decides, I'm going to get pizza in Harlem. And Ruben says, you can't do that. And Ruben says, well, I'll go with you. And let's just say it doesn't work out so well for one of them. And the whole movie is about Sam and not only surviving the alien invasion, but kind of coming to terms with her own mortality. During the movie, she runs into Eric, played by Joseph Quinn, who is suffering PTSD, and the two of them form an unlikely friendship. And that's A Quiet Place, Day One.
Yeah, it's So I like the Quiet Place movies. I thought the second one was okay. This one is a different take, and I like that it opens on this quote, like the just general the noise in New York City is like 90 decibels, which is about the level of someone screaming.
Yeah, a constant scream, basically.
Constant scream. So sound plays a huge part of this, the level of sound in it, like you hear constantly the use of sound. You forgot to mention that she has a pet cat. It's
Frodo.
Frodo, a service cat.
Damn cat.
Which is tags along in the whole film. I mean, there are great jump scares. You see it from the perspective of her. All she wants is pizza, but all she really wants is to find a reason to want to live. And by partnering with Eric, the two of them trying to survive, they heal each other in some way. So there's more to it. They're great.
Yeah, it's not. I should say her wanting pizza has a little more depth to it.
There's more depth to that.
Yeah,
it's not. But by the way, I've had New York pizza. It's amazing. Those giant slices, you have to fold it over to eat it. It's, oh my God.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss. Original Ray's. Original Ray's is the pizza in New York.
Yeah.
Look for it. And every original Ray's you go to says, well, this is the original. This is the one that started it. They all lie. But that was, Lupita's great. Lupita is really good. And the guy, Eric the actor, yes. I was going to say Eric the actor. The character, Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things, he is going to play the Human Torch, Johnny Storm.
Oh, is that him?
Yeah, that's him. Okay. So looking forward to that.
Well, yeah. Then well done. Good casting.
Yeah. The director also directed Pig with Nick Cage. Interesting choice. So I really enjoyed it. Great tension moments. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's an hour and 40 minutes, perfect length. The ending I thought was a great payoff. Other supporting characters I thought were good, and just the trying to figure out, I mean, the reason they don't go into this too much, but they blew up the bridges so those creatures couldn't leave the island.
Right.
So it's like you got to take a boat off the island because we've learned something new about these creatures that water is something they can't handle. They drown in water. Mm-hmm. So there you go. But and you're not a horror fan, so I actually think for you, this is something like as a I did enjoy it. I give it a recommend between a 6 and a 7. Just a good, and it was made for $65 million. Cheap. And impressive. Yeah, one of the producers is Michael Bay. Yeah. I don't know if you knew that. Did you?
I saw it in the credits. I noticed it in the credits. Well,
I will say there's no post-credit scene, so I can save you time there.
Because we already know where it's going. I'll say this. There's one reason I saw this movie, and it's because my wife begged me to see this movie.
Oh, good. Did you see it with her?
I did see it with her. I took her. Okay. Date night last night.
This proves a point. Women love horror.
Yeah. Of the two of us, she is the horror person. She will beg me to take her to horror movies to the point where I just said, just ask your sister or take your niece to go see this movie, because I'm not taking you to see these movies. So she has seen way more horror films than I do. I took her to this just because I'm a good husband, and she deserves these things. And she is a big fan of the first two movies. She loves the first two movies. Probably loved part 2 more than you did. And this is what she told me. And I kind of agree with her. The charm of the first, when you make a movie, a sequel or prequel, the idea is you're supposed to take what you love about the originals and put them in the sequels or the prequels, because that's why people go to these things. They didn't do that. The heart of the first 2 movies was the Abbott family. The entire first movie, I don't think you see the alien until the end of the movie. The entire film is about this family. You're spending time getting to know this family, feeling empathy for them. And audiences got so much empathy for this family that they made a sequel based on that family even more. In this one, this is the lore of A Quiet Place. So you're not seeing necessarily a human story. You're seeing how the aliens got here, what the aliens do. You learn a little bit more of information because he happened to stumble in on something for no reason at all, Eric. The whole idea of having Lupita Nyong'o start off as Sam starting off in a hospice. This is what you call shorthand for sympathy. She's dying. Therefore, you have sympathy for him. There's shorthand. But the problem is you don't really get to know her throughout the movie because you're more focused on the lore and the aliens chasing them. And this whole movie is basically an alien chase movie with moments of drama to kind of fill in those things. And so, I think they tried their best. And there we go. I think they've tried their best to create sympathy, but it was just a little too on the nose there. And so I'm not a big fan of the movie. I gave it a 5.
Well, I give it a positive. I give it a recommend. I enjoy. It's like anything between Alien and Aliens. It's just a lot more. It's different. They actually don't know what it is. They're trying to, figure out what these creatures are, what their weaknesses are. Like, you hear these helicopters hovering over them that say, shelter in place. And they say, go to the boats. Like I do love, if you've seen the trailer to this movie, the trailers only really focus on the first half of the film.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, I've seen all the shots from I have no idea what's going to happen. And obviously we won't go into it for spoilers, but the other thing that's so great about this film, the cat, Frodo, the cat, Frodo. No, wait.
Right. Go ahead.
They wrote an entire book called Save the Cat. It is a shorthand to, you see a character and they basically are kind to a smaller creature, and that makes you identify or really like that character. I mean, it really works. I thought they were going to go a different way with a white guy, black woman element. It's not what you think. And so,
okay,
don't talk about it.
Okay, well, I mean, I'll say
it
this.
was very different than what I thought. There's no racial element played,
right?
Which they could have done.
Yeah, let me just say that. You know, black protagonist, white supporting character. No, she's great. She earned the spot in the movie. She's very good in it, and race is never brought up in the film, which is how it should be.
Yes,
there shouldn't.
Yes.
If there was a moment where she has to point out his privilege, that would have just destroyed everyone. She didn't. It was about two people finding connection, trying to find a reason to survive. That's what this film is about, and it happens to be a black protagonist and a white protagonist. Second thing is the thing that my wife and I disagreed most about it was that damn cat. And this was
the cat.
This was the other problem I had with the movie, and it refers to stakes. The cat is a great example of this. Let's just say that there's a moment where the cat could have just killed everybody. You know, by the cat is doing cat things and making sounds, and this is what I don't understand, but you put people in a building together. All it takes is one sound for the aliens to come in and eat
right
100 people in one shot, and the cat is almost the cause of that. And I'm like, but we just brush it off because the cat is cute. You know, there are times where the cat could have done something wrong. There are times where the cat is in positions where cats should have died. And it's also we got to bring the cat back. The cat just keeps showing up and showing up. It's like the dog. You know, you understand these movies where dogs chase after their masters, will cross the country. I just don't think cats do that. My experience with cats is they don't care about you. And so this cat is basically a dog in the movie. And to back up what I say about steaks. So Sam wants pizza in Harlem. Her friend early on in the movie decides, okay, you shouldn't go, but if you're going to go, I'm going to go with you. And instantly he dies. He gets eaten by an alien.
Well, that was
okay. She feels bad for a moment, and then just goes on, which tells me that the stakes of his death meant nothing to her. And I feel like that was more of a story problem than a character problem. That they needed to have this moment of him dying like that, but they never really paid it off because she just comes off. And this is how I felt. She just came off as heartless to just move on with the death of her friend.
I think she was dealing with a lot. She was dealing, and it was like there were people dying all around her. So the fact that Eric has PTSD and he's like not able to handle what's happening, and they kind of bond. And I think that it almost is like a superpower with her. She's dying of cancer. She needs her meds. She's already facing death and surrounded by it.
Right,
that makes her unique.
The problem is, if he didn't go with her to go get pizza, he would still be alive. It was her need to go and get pizza that made him go with her. And it was because of her he died. And she dealt with it for a moment. And then the character is forgotten for the rest of the movie at that point.
All right. Well, bottom line, I recommend A Quiet Place day one. Alan, what about you?
I don't. No, it's not a Quiet Place movie. It's an alien chase movie.
Well, fine.
All right.